Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. The video you're about to watch really captures the essence of what this channel is all about. It contains what we consider the main ingredients of what we enjoy. That's hiking, exploring, history, and relic hunting. This video actually took several months to make, 4 trips, but the results are awesome, so stay tuned and enjoy. In this video, we're going hiking and exploring deep into the woods of New Hampshire, searching for lost colonial home sites. These farms have been abandoned since the early 1800s, and the landscape is brutal. Mother Nature has reclaimed what's rightfully hers, but somewhere buried deep out there is lost history. So let's go find it. All right, here we go. This is what we're doing today. Remember last week when I took you guys all out scouting and we went looking for home sites? Well, while being out there, it made me think of some similar features to the property that are on this location, which is a big piece of property that we have permission to metal detect, hence why I have the machine today. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go look for fragmented chunks of property, broken walls, pastures that just run into nothing, and hopefully find a home site. Now here's what I'm kind of talking about. On this side over here we have a pasture wall, and it goes down to about there and corners off. But then there is a massive break in the property, and somewhere out there, which I haven't been in years, if I remember correctly, there's some walls that are just not complete. And the thing about incomplete walls is it could be from loggers. A lot of times they pulled a lot of that stuff out and used it for construction materials, or they just completely wiped it out into oblivion. Then there's the possibility the farmer or occupants of that property never quite finished those walls. Where I'm going is definitely a peculiar spot, but it's surrounded by roads and other what were home sites. Again, this could be one of the classic cases of this area has been choked off by development and just the changing land. After they log, a lot of this just turns to wetland because there's no trees to deal with all the water. So, all right, let's hit the woods. This is exactly what I'm talking about. That's logging from the early 1900s. You can actually still see old tree debris laying on the ground, and this is what happens. It all turns to nasty swamp, which on a day like today is going to make it sticky. It poured this morning, it's 85 degrees, and all the water is just raising up out of the ground now that the sun is out. But what are you going to do? It's better than February. So I'm going to follow this ridge line, and hopefully we run into a chunk of wall. I had come in from the other side years ago, before I was doing this all the time, and I always thought it was bizarre that the wall over there just ended. Now knowing more, I've really got to go out and investigate. Okay, well, I've gone about 1/4 of a mile off the road, out of the swampy area. Again, choking off this section of woods. This isn't bad out here. Now here's something interesting. You see this hole? That is the 6th one I've counted. And those ain't from trees going over, because you'd have a mound. Makes me wonder if they were pulling stones out of here. A lot of stone work. Very interesting. I don't know. Keep heading that way. Nice. See that? We have wall cutting through the landscape, and also that's what I'm talking about. If it was a hole from a tree falling over, you've all seen them. And the thing about this, and you can use this in your own practice, in your own hometown, is that if you drive around this massive piece of land, it all looks like swampland. Once you get through that barrier, there's all the possibility of it being decent. Let's get on that wall and follow it. Well, I started on the east side. I'm gonna take it. I'm going west. That's what I'm doing. Wow, it is bad out here. Look at all the water. Water, wet logs, wet rocks. I'm going that way. And there's like zero visibility. Wow. I am having one hell of a time getting through this. You can see the wall is in here, but either side I go to, I am just dealing with not being able to see the ground, which is loaded with water pockets, and who knows what else. But I need to keep following this wall into the sun. Holy crap. This has definitely been logged sometime in my lifetime, but look at those trees out there. There's a stretch that hasn't been. So I'm hoping that the wall that's in there will go down, corner off, and then head that way. Alright, I think I'm coming up to a cross wall that I was looking for. Sorry if it's shaky, I'm dealing with walking in all this stuff. Nice. And the good sign is, not only does it cross, it tees. That means it's not just one isolated square. There's multiple things going on out here. Whew, I'm gonna stay out here for a few minutes and stay dry. Soaking wet from the knees down. Holy mackerel. This is why I didn't come all the way through years ago. It's just terrible. I know, I should be doing this like December or March, but when an idea strikes, you gotta go. Alright, I'm gonna chill for a minute, then think of what my next move is. Read the signs. Alright, well, I just went through a pretty nasty section, but over there is a T in the wall, which makes 6 squares out here. Definitely intriguing, to say the least. So, like I noted the other day about the land filtering me down, I've been walking that wall, seeing cross walls off, and the ground has been bad. I think this is the square I'm looking for because it's somewhat decent. There's no obvious rocks still sticking out. Now here's where I'm getting hopeful. That's a pile of rocks, okay? I'm no more than 80 feet in from the main wall, and I just came across this little itty bitty wall, which is no more than a foot tall. That right there is generally good indication of a home site. That's the stuff that they would clear in their immediate living space, and, you know, kind of use it as decoration. It was either that or drag it all the way out to the wall. So that's the way we need to look. I am going to be blown away if indeed there is an actual cellar hole out here, because we've been coming around this area forever. I'm not far from home, and again, it goes to prove you gotta go where you normally wouldn't look. If not, I'm still gonna map all the walls, because somebody was farming out here for one purpose or another. All right, I think we got something. That's where that little wall was. Look at this. Oh my God. Incredible. I absolutely have fuzzy, warm chills because, again, we didn't know about this. It's no wonder nobody's been out here for one reason or another. Even hiking, on a scale of 1 to 10 for suck, I'd give that a 9. All right, you know what we have to do now. Turn it on. Oh, we have iron. I mean, it's painfully obvious by the stacked rocks, but... Well, I can tell you one thing's for certain. Us at the Historical Society had no idea this was here. Judging on the look of the build, I'm gonna say it's 1700s. I don't know. This is amazing. There we go. Little iron tack buckle. We have our first relic. Wow. Well, they had brick. I got shards. Wow. It's a big chunk of iron. Either way, the shards totally made worth this digging. All right, just 2 feet over, and always the proper way to start a relic hunting expedition around here is with a big spoon. Look at that beauty. Iron. Well, that makes me happy. 68. Huh. Well, I'm assuming that this was the cornerstone, judging by the footprint of where the house sat. One thing's for certain, this place is gonna need a major cleaning. Oh, here we go. Button. Oh, tomback too. See, we're tickling into the 1700s. Nice. Something somebody wore. I don't know how happy that makes me. Well, in all that mess, I just rescued another button. And I got another signal. I'm going back for it. I can't even find my machine because it's so thick and nasty in here. Alright, let's see what this one is. It was rather loud. There it is. Classic bean pot. Chunk of Dutch oven. Still a relic. Just that means it's gonna be all over the joint. Ow, thorns. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna do what I can in this quick dig, but this site may have to wait until autumn. Look at this, this is ridiculous. And the camera is currently sitting on the lip. You're basically on the side of the house. I'm right out front here. Oh, nice. Oh, very nice actually. I don't believe this is a button. Looking at that shankage area, it looks more like a draw pull knob to me. Very good. Either that or it's just a very terrible shank job. I hate to say it, I hear thunder, it's getting dark. And the last place I'm going to want to get stuck in a downpour is out here because these lowlands are going to fill right up. So I'm going to hold out as long as I possibly can. It took me 45 minutes to get in here. Ugh. Classic washer excitement. A day is now complete. Well, whatever cell is coming through for weather, it's definitely off to the north, and it may miss us. Either way, I can't move. I gotta sit here because it's just too far to get caught out in that. At least I'm under some big trees. So as I'm standing around waiting for the storm to pass, there's the obvious side wall of the hole. There's the lip. So inside here, that's the chimney stack. What's pretty interesting is that stone there. That stone there makes me wonder if this was the actual fireplace area. Like that was the stone against the back wall. Kind of makes sense. Pretty neat. Well, about 2 minutes ago the wind picked up. And here comes the rain. Well, I'm going to be sitting out here. If the camera goes away, I had to put it in the bag to stay dry, so. Great. Unbelievable how many storms we've been caught in this summer already. I'll round up all my relics. So, I always carry plastic bags with me in the event that I'm lucky enough to find big relics, bottles, whatever. Or if I gotta stick you guys in there to stay dry. Even if we gotta go, this was good. Couple buttons, spoon, bean pot, and another confirmed location.
Oh yeah, I'm wet. Standing in a cellar hole, taking it all in.
Well, this is going to make for an interesting hike back. All them lowlands are going to be flooded. So I'm going to pack up the camera, say goodbye to you all. Hope you enjoyed this quick dig. We will be back here, whether it's sooner in the fall, I don't know. But until then, stay dry and enjoy your Not Thursday.
Oh well.
Well, I thought I'd just break in at the end of the video here. I'm going to take a complete line from a Willie Nelson song. After considering the whole situation, and I stand with my back to the wall, I'm not going back out there until the autumn. That hike and the ground was just awful. I mean, I don't say that too many times to the point where I won't go back, but yeah, we'll wait until probably Thanksgiving time. We'll let them relics sit for a while. We'll get back out there. All right, this is the end. Back in August, I went searching for a lost home site here in New Hampshire. Wow. The hike was brutal, but so well worth it when I found the location. Oh my God. The only problem was I got caught in a downpour. Wow. But almost 3 months later, I'm back for a recap. Let's see what we can find. Well, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. You guys remember the episode a few months back. On August 4th, I went exploring and searching for one of our lost cellar hole home sites here in New Hampshire. And that was the day that when I got out here, yeah, I was pulling things out of the ground, but it downpoured on me. Never been so wet while out digging. Well, it's almost 3 months later. I've hiked back out here. A lot better now that the vegetation is dying off. The ferns are pretty much all gone. They're just standing here dead. But what a change of conditions. That day it was in the 90s, today it's in the 40s, so we're almost at half the temperature. But the sun is out, and I'm eager to see what we can find for relics. So let's get this thing going. At least now the ferns I can just easily get out of the way. So anything's possible out here. As far as we can tell, this is a home site that was abandoned during the early 1800s. More than likely built in the mid to late 1700s. and never been mapped before. That's iron. Got a couple holes in it. Looks like some type of support bracket. Maybe it went on a shovel or a garden tool. So there we go. There's our first relic out of the ground. Alright, so here we go. Here's the first solid mid-tone signal. And let's hope it's a button and not a shotgun shell. Excellent. Button with shank. Little sleeve button. And yeah, looks like tomback. Just needs to be cleaned up, so cool. Got a little piece of shard and a sleeve button. Upper 60 signal. So as most of you know, I'm doing it for the Historical Society. All these items are precious, bag tagged with location. A site like this, we don't know who lived here, but to me, that's one of the most fascinating kinds of locations. I love doing this. And you know, the research takes a long time to basically reverse engineer it to figure out who was here. I may never get to it, but someday somebody will. So the work that's done here today is important and will mean something. Oh wow, I'm not completely positive, but what I think this is, oh gee, I don't know. I thought it was the thumb lever. This would go through the door, open up the latch on the other side, but I'm not completely positive. Either way, it's from something, definitely a relic. Boy, it sure does look like it. It's crude. Alright. Bouncing between the mid-50s and mid-60s. For a side note, I'm working right off the lip. That's where the camera is. Huh. So you first look at it, it's definitely pewter. I'm thinking spoon parts. And check this out. It's actually plated. It's old. I mean, it was 6 inches deep right at the edge of the lip, so I'm going with spoon. Very cool find. Look at this. It's the top part of what we call bean pot, Dutch oven, but here's the spot where the handle would go in up over. That's pretty awesome. Usually it's just a chunk, or if we're lucky we find a leg, but there you go. How cool is that? It's part of what kept these people alive. So I'm actually right near the cornerstone where last time I found that really nice tomback button. It sounded better when I was standing up. Either way. Cool. A knife. A dinnerware knife. Awesome. See? Even those crap signals are worth digging because they are relics. Another knife. Interesting, huh? 3 feet from the other one. Awesome. I got a bad feeling it's under this root and the rock that's underneath. So, what is it that is under a stone right on the lip of a cellar hole? Chain link. Maybe it fell off some oxen while digging, building. Who knows, but... Well, there's the answer. Pretty low, but solid. Small. Well, that sounds a bit better, huh? Oh, right there. Oh, dandy button. Wow. Now you guys saw that. It was only ringing up till we cracked that ground open. It must have been just sitting on edge. Yes. Beautiful. $40 to $68. That's an odd one. That's right under this, which is like 30 feet long. I'm not moving it. Oh, well, it's a brick. Oh, it is a button. You know, I thought I saw something in there. A cloth? Oh wow, I think it is. Oh wow, look at this. That is cloth. Look at, you can see the imprint on this one. It's over the button. Jesus. How chilling is that? Wow. Yeah, you can actually see where the button went through the cloth. That is just remarkable. And when you think about how old that is. Well, this happens a lot. I stood up, I checked the hole, then I did what I call resetting the hole. I filled it back in. And we might have another button in there, but I don't know why that is sometimes. It was just like when Jen dug that 7-button spill. It was like she put everything back in, and that's when she heard more targets. Yep, another one, and it's wrapped in cloth, just like the other one. Damn. Oh, one more check. Wow, there's more. Yeah, another one with cloth. Interesting, different size, just like had happened to Jen. But then again, I guess if you've got button down, you got pockets, sleeves, whatever else they were buttoning up. I know back then the attire had lots of them. Well, that's 2 more for the moment. I'm going to show you those, and then I'm actually going to break the ground open, see if we can find anything else. So here's the first one. You see that button sticking out. And what's interesting is the patina is different. It's actually, see how dark that is? So it's all covered in cloth. And then here's the second one, which is a bit bigger. So 3 in total. So just out of curiosity, we'll scrape all this stuff back. Now see that? All I did was remove maybe an inch, 2 inches tops of that crap. That's all it takes to get your coil out of reach, right? There we go. Button number 4. It's a little bit of cloth. The smaller variety. Well, let me tell you, what a series of days trying to get out and detect. I went out to the potash field one day. We have new occupants. And then the next day it rained. And then the next day it rained. Exactly, the next day it rained. It's still raining. today's freezing, but it's not raining, so we're gonna hit the woods, so stay tuned. Well, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Here is what we are doing today. I'm going back to the cellar hole that waited. If you guys all remember, this is the site. I got caught in the rain. I just went back recently and did a recap, which was very good. Today I'm going back for a 3-cap. In the Stealth Digger world, that means, you know, 3rd time trip at this site. But we're going to do a little different today. Well, as you all know, I've made a lot of videos. Past the 400 published videos recently, and you know, it's not like they're just regular videos. They're all edited, and it's quite a bit of work. But the point I'm getting at is, or going to get at, as I watch the footage, in particular of what I've been doing on Not Thursdays, I like how it's relaxed. I like how it has room to breathe. And in particular, when I'm out doing something like this, I like the ambiance of the woods. The edits aren't so tight, and there's just more space in between. Not only do I like sharing the trip with all of you, I like watching it myself. That's a huge thing. If you can sit through your own video, then you know you're making something interesting. But I also like saving all these memories, and you know, someday when I go back to watch them, I'm gonna want to see more footage than just straight up edit to make things run smooth. But today, we're relaxing a bit, and we're gonna let the footage breathe. So here we go. We have 1.25 miles hike out to the site, so we best get moving. So there's a couple sections up here I really need to navigate around because it's always been wet, and with this nor'easter that just hit us, it's gonna be soaked. And essentially with a nor'easter in New England, it comes up, slaps you around one way, and then loops back around and gets you going the other way. It's like getting hit by a truck and having it turn around and come back at you. So there's a lot of moisture out here, and I definitely want to avoid that low section that I've had to go through before, but there's no cut trail out here. I'm using compass brain to get me back and forth. Yeah, the ground's just soggy. There's our wall off in the distance. That's the edge of the old farm. And for those of you, if you're just catching this episode, this is a 1700s site, abandoned sometime early 1800s, and it's been choked off by development and more drastically by swamp. There's a very narrow line that I have found to get out to this site, and this is one of our big permissions, and through the years we keep finding more and more sites. I'm further down than I wanted to be. I'm at the right farm, the right wall. I just wanted to avoid this area. Ugh. It doesn't look bad down here, but I know it's really puddled up there, and it's just under 40 degrees, so if I step in that, it's not going to be very comfortable for the next hour or two. See all these pines? This is all fresh. This was logged maybe about 8 years ago. I was in here. Didn't find the cellar hole back then. It would have been good either before they logged it or just after. But it's thick now. Of
Cross wall number 2. Popped onto a game trail here, and it's heading in the right direction as usual. Alright, so we've landed, and again, today, we're gonna let it breathe. I'm gonna make you guys as much a part of this dig as possible. So let me know what you think of the footage. Alright, let's turn it on. Starting right out the lip as usual. Could be a button. Mid to upper 40s. Be nice to find something today to add to the town collection, huh? But if not, that's alright. We're getting outside, we're making some video. And it is. And it is. And it was pewter. Just a glob of pewter. Numbers are all over the joint. There's not much room to move in here, at least on this side of the site. Folded, rolled sheet metal. That's why it was all over the place. You know, there's no bad targets at a site like this. Everything is old. There may be the occasional shotgun shell from hunters, but other than that, that's it. So what I just dug, yeah, it's rolled sheet metal, but it's extremely old. It's part of the history of this place. A lot of people just don't get that. It's got to be shiny, pretty, complete. Those are trophy hunters. We're relic hunters. Proudly. Alright. Let's swing some more. So I'm moving around the east side of the cellar hole, and you can see what I'm working in is just... it's really tight and cramped, and I just go in here and try to paint in all the spaces with my coil. That's my brush. Fill it all in around every single little branch, root, rock, whatever. Because you got to imagine, I'm roughly 10 feet from the side of where the house was. This is right up next to the house, you know? And this side has actually been really quiet compared to the other 3 sides. Well, the ground is just sounding and feeling different today. You get accustomed to a certain responsiveness from the mineralization and the typical iron bed that you're working at a cellar hole. I've said it before in past videos about ground saturation is not always a good thing, especially in mineralized soil. What happens is that reflects the RF, the radio frequency coming off your coil. In the ham radio world, that's what we call a ground plane. And there are people who put antennas on water, you know, like in a marshy type land, because it reflects that energy up to the sky. It's the same principle here, metal detecting. So If the ground is only soaking wet an inch or two down, that's it. That RF is getting into there. If it's fully saturated, that's when you get the good conductivity. That's why early spring we always have a tough time when that top layer is frozen. It's shielding all the signals. I gotta keep hearing things. I just share that with you guys from time to time because different people pop in and out of what we call the continuum here. Big flat chunk of iron. So you guys are getting it all today. Regardless of what we find, that's not what it's about. It's just connecting me with you and all of us with the environment. It's just, this time of the year in New England is it's special. It's different. When you get between Halloween and Christmas, the woods are like no other time of the year. It's hard to explain, but for those of you who live in New England, or maybe it's like this in your part of the world, there's just something about it. Salamander buddy. Now see, an overpowering iron signal, an iron target, but something interesting. I have no idea what this is, but it's pretty cool. It's got shapes and things. That's one side. There's the other side, and it's got hinge points to it. I wonder what that one on. Let's see. That's what I love about relic hunting. You always find stuff because you're hunting for relics. Huh. I have no idea. If anybody has seen one of those before, let me know in the comments. There's good numbers, but it actually sounds like it's on the surface. I have no idea what's going on here, but they might be dealing with multiple targets. Let's get you in closer. That's a big nail. That's another nail. Oh boy, that's going up to 80 now. I'm wondering if it's a good target in there, that those nails were just making it all weird right from the beginning. Alright, now I gotta back you up. Excuse me. Sorry, I only moved you because I want to swing my coil and don't want to get too close to the camera. What's going on? That's an 82, 83. Oh, nice, I got some shards. Rock. Ah, friggin' thorns. See, this is the crap that I usually edit out that you guys don't see me or we dealing with. It's a rock. Oh, I think we got a coin. No kidding. So those nails were right on top of it, throwing that signal all over. All right, this is exciting. Yeah, I talk about relics and brag how I'm a relic hunter. Coins are relics, but the thing about coins is they give you dates sometimes. And with this site, oh, this could be very important. It's a kappa. It's British. I can tell by the back already. It's a King George. Again, the exciting thing about this site is we don't know who lived here or when. We just have a guesstimation on the window. I think we're going to get a date off this. That'll be fascinating. So, King George the Second. Oh man, I wish I could see. Oh, I'm going to use that app on my phone. Stand by. See, I wasn't sure how today was going to go, and I didn't care. I love when it happens like that. The signal's just, you know, you can't lock onto anything particular, but it's doing it for a reason. You remove some nails and sweet, sweet, sweet. Alright, so let's go in and use the magnifier. Holy crap. I think that says 1730. And that would line up with our early theories of this being an early colonist. Not 1730. Probably within 20 years after that. It is. It's 1730. That's the oldest King George II coin I've dug. What was my oldest coin? 1719. It's the oldest King George II though. Awesome. Very, very awesome. So, this is where I was working. On the westerly side of the house. Right on the lip. Right there was the coin. Right here is the corner. Literally on the corner of the house. And that was not more than 3 inches deep. So I'm going to swing around here some more and give it a few more minutes. Huh, but see, there's that weird signal again. So this 1 foot by 1 foot square area between the nails, the coin, and whatever this is, that's sheet metal. Wow. Wow. Look at this. It's no wonder out of that hole 2 iron nails, 1 copper coin, and 1 brass tack. Look at this, a little upholstery tack. So iron, brass, copper, all in the same little hole. And this target's very small, so. Jeez. Alright, well, that's it. That was a great little quick dig where, you know, I didn't set my expectations high. I just wanted to come back out here and any find would be great. But yet, I have a 1730 King George coin to add to the town museum. How's that for awesome? Well, hope you all enjoyed this video. I definitely did. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Slick, baby, slick. I gotta put you guys down for a second. Don't move, stay there. Thanks. All right, so here we go, a new video. And today what we're doing is we are connecting the dots. For those of you who follow and you're all about the continuity of the channel, if you watched yesterday's episode when I dug that 1730 King George coin, well, that was on this permission of land that we have. I'm actually on an old cart path, which I'm going to detect one of these days soon. And on the other side is another permission we have. So we have free reign of this area, which is great. But anyways, this site, which I discovered and have been putting the pieces together, I believe is an early settler's site. I was thinking about the cellar holes that I've been working in this area with myself and some of the others. And you know what? The two oldest coins I've ever dug, and a lot of the artifacts, oldest now, stuff, has come out of this part of town. I'm convinced people were in this area a couple decades before history has written it. But the site that I had recently just discovered, and you saw me digging at yesterday, is about, I don't know, I'm gonna guess 1.5 miles into the woods that way. And it was years ago, I was over here hiking and exploring, and you know, I've actually shown it in some of my earlier videos. There's a lot of stuff out that way, which at that time I didn't understand, but it turned out to be the tail end of that farm. So I'm returning to this area, which I haven't been in a long time, to connect this cart path to that farm. I'm gonna have to navigate around this wetland and find the broken walls over there that I had found years ago. So this ought to be interesting. I'm really curious to see what's at the other end of that farm, because we haven't stretched out too much. Just worked around the immediate footprint of where the house sat. So let's hike away and see what we can see. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of rough. As I had mentioned yesterday, we had a nor'easter and it just rained for like 4 days straight, so there's a ton of water out here. And if memory serves me, a lot of that section over there was flooded anyways. Come to the end of the cart path, and now it's time to transfer between lots. This, I believe, we're walking over, is an old bridge. You can see where it's all built up on the sides. Looks wet and slippery to me. You know what? I'm going up that way a little bit. I don't feel like swimming. It's only in the 30s right now, and who wants to get wet in those temps? This is what I remember. And here is a telltale sign. That is a Colonial Bridge. Massive flat stones leading us over to the other side. Oh yeah, no doubt. like I said, it's been 6 or 7 years since I've been over here. So this is gonna be fun and interesting to relook at the land with what I've learned and bring you all along. So let's give. Yeah, so you cross that river and it just dumps you over into this. I was really hoping to cross that old bridge and, you know, see a continuation of a cart path, but definitely not. So now that I'm on this side, I'm trying to make my way back over towards that pond, because I'm pretty sure I need to go due north of that to connect up with that other farm. I can hear the brook. I know there's a brook that comes down out of here, fills that pond, but there's a very cool section of wall too. See, and it all makes more sense to me now. See, and that's the thing, as I've stated before, with constantly going back to different areas and coming in from different angles. When I was here years ago, I went up there. That wall banks hard to the north. Now, knowing what I know, this is the tail end of the site we worked yesterday. I think it's pretty far back too. I'm just gonna go due north from where I'm standing. Be pretty cool. I haven't done this yet. No, I've always just liked this. North we go and up the hill. So as I walk these properties and make notes for my maps, things like non-improved land, the fact that it definitely is next door to the other guy's property. We know who lived there for many generations. It's links like that that help you figure out who lived in the, you know, the dead space, which that's what this is. This is a big chunk of land. It just fascinates me that they would have taken the time to put that wall up there, and the section I said that cuts to the north, it just terminates into nothing and swamp. Hope you guys are enjoying getting out into the wilderness with me. Exploring is just awesome, especially when you're on some of the oldest colonized ground in the United States of America. Well, I'm 40 minutes in hiking. At some point, there's got to be something that lets me know that I'm getting closer to where the home was. It can't be swamp all the way up to its door. But then again, it can. We've been to places like that. But this is it. It's just been rocks and trees and mud and things, and, you know. Recently I've started actually using my Apple Watch while out doing this. And it's not so much for safety's sake, although if I need it, I have it. It's curiosity. It just notified me I've done a mile. Yeah, 40 minutes is a long time, but I'm filming and looking around. It's the information that it gives me that will make me better at this, because I made the estimate of a mile and a half. I think it's gonna be more like a mile and a quarter. That's the distance it was exactly from the other side, but that's not a bad judgment call. And that's just data that I can use for when I do other things. Well, judging by the fresh cut pines and this trench, I think I'm coming up directly behind the cellar hole, which means I nailed it. And I still haven't seen any signs of the farm. Nothing. Well, here we go. Another couple 100 feet. And we have a corner. That is where I came through the first time. So the majority of the farm is that way. That's a mile of land. That is separate from this. There's no doubt about that. Interesting. On that day, it was square after square after square, and this is where they all terminate back here. Alright, so that being our wall, the site we worked yesterday, the cellar hole that waited, and then 1 mile of that over to the other property we have permission to do. So that's interesting, and when I put it in my notes, a lot of times I use the original charter grant maps. It's basically just a big grid of the town, and you know, I know where I am. Sometimes there's a name on it from back in the 1700s, sometimes there's not. Either way, on my version I add notes like this. This site didn't exist on that map until I found it. But this side is interesting. Yeah, it's terrible out there, but obviously it's squared off from the other one. Well, that was a good exercise. Just about 1.25 miles. So this thing is dead center of this choked off chunk of land, which is 2.5 miles across. Well, as usual, I'm going to turn around, but I'm not going to go back the way I came in, because that's just serves no purpose other than getting out of here. Do I want to go to the east side or the west side? I'm going to tickle a little to the west. I had tickled to the west a bit, but I started gravitating back this way to the east. This is the wall that goes to nothing. It corners off down by where we came in. It will be dark in 30 minutes, no doubt. This is just a cool time of the year and time of the day to be out here. As I said yesterday, there's something about the woods of November. I actually called a video that years ago. It's not my favorite time of the year. Believe it or not, I actually like to be out in the woods in the middle of the summer. That's why you see so many Not Thursdays. Me out there by myself when it's 95 degrees. I love it. But there's something about this window of time that's just special. Halloween to Christmas if it doesn't snow. So I still gotta navigate around this. I came around that side. I don't know if I dare try to get out that way. That was a good walk in. And if I get all the way down the end and I can't cross, eek. I thought about it for 15 seconds tops. Okay, I'm gonna go that way. I have to know. I have to know what's over there. If I get stuck and we have to go around, well, it'll definitely be dark, but I'll have known what's over that way. Alright, here we go. I just want to make a shout out to, well, nobody specifically, but there's plenty of people who comment on the videos when I do these exploring and hiking ones that love it. They thank me because they can no longer get out. Whether it's a disability, an injury, age, whatever, and they miss it. And I know that you enjoy watching this. This is what I love to do. I love exploring. And that's why I make these videos, period. But as of late, I really appreciate those comments, and that gives me the motivation to make exploring videos like this. Like I said before, this is what I've been doing for years, and I'm just at the point now where I want to document it. It's a big part of the continuum, because there are those instances when I come out here, or we, me, Keebs, George, whoever, Jen, and we find home sites on these big permissions that we have. And that's a big part that you guys never got to see in the earlier videos. All that fun work and exploration. So, alright. I need to shut up. Keep moving. I'm hungry and I want to get out of here before it's dark. I'm hoping that where all these downed trees are, I can find one to cross over on. Wow, look at that. Look at the size of that root system. Wow. Alright, here we go. Classic moves. Hop, skip, and a Joe, right? Hey, Joe. You guys see anything shiny in there? That's why I bring Mr. Pokey. Not too bad. The signs, baby, the signs. There's our cart path. Well, I've only got 10 minutes of a walk out and then I'm good. I'm safe. I hope you've all enjoyed this. I thoroughly did. And take it from the angle of the video that you watched yesterday. This is a part of that story. This is all the property south of that. 1.25 miles to the next farm. So that gives you a part of the bigger picture of what we deal with around here. You know, how rugged the land is, the situations and possibilities of where people could settle. Obviously, it wasn't going to happen in there. It's just something to reflect upon, think about, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Because I did. When you put the continuity together of all the videos, I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to link things better as we go along and let you see it through my eyes. Alright. Thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy your Not Thursday.